Welcome to an InOrbit Deep Dive podcast. The following AI-generated podcast explores InOrbit, the industry's leading AI-powered cloud-based data platform for effectively managing and orchestrating growing robot fleets. InOrbit makes robots from different vendors, smart infrastructure, and existing control or management systems work together. With InOrbit, you get comprehensive observability, incident review, and data analytics. To learn more about InOrbit and the power of robot operations, visit us online at inorbit.ai. Now on to the podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we are going to be looking at robot operations.
Or RobOps, as the cool kids call it.
RobOps. Okay. RobOps. And specifically, we are diving into InOrbit's RobOps Copilot.
Which is pretty exciting stuff.
Definitely seems like it. Now, I've been following InOrbit for a while, and I love getting into the nitty-gritty of new tech, but we want to make sure this deep dive is accessible to everyone. So just to set the stage, we are talking about robot fleets.
Yeah.
Groups of robots working together.
Like in a warehouse or doing deliveries or even in agriculture.
Exactly. And we're talking about how to manage those fleets because it can get
it can get really complicated.
very complex.
Yeah.
Especially as our robots get smarter and are doing more for us.
Absolutely. And that's where InOrbit comes in. They're trying to make RobOps more manageable. So the source material we are using for this deep dive comes directly from InOrbit. They have a blog post and some other materials that break down how this new tool, the RobOps Copilot, works.
And it's AI powered.
Yeah.
Which I always find fascinating. How can we use AI to kind of cut through the noise and make good decisions?
Right on. So much potential there. And this RobOps Copilot is a really interesting example of that.
Speaking of, let's talk about that name for a second.
RobOps Copilot.
Yeah. I mean, it immediately caught my attention. Copilot.
Yeah.
Makes me think of like a helpful assistant in the cockpit. Not that I have ever flown a plane, but you know what I mean.
Right. It paints a picture. Yeah. The name is very intentional. It is supposed to evoke that sense of like an assistant who is there to help you navigate
the complexities of robot data, because we are talking about mountains and mountains of data.
And it can be very overwhelming, even for people who are comfortable with data, data scientists and engineers. Like, it's still
a lot to process, especially when you are trying to make real-time decisions.
Right. You don't want to be stuck just staring at dashboards all day trying to figure out what is going on.
You want to be able to take action.
Exactly. And that is a key point here. Actionable insights. That's what InOrbit says. This RobOps Copilot is all about taking all of that raw data and turning it into something you can actually use to improve your operations.
Okay, I'm all about improving operations. I think anyone running a business or a team can relate to that. How does that work in practice? With robots, I mean. How can data actually lead to improvements, tangible improvements?
So let's say you've got
a fleet of delivery robots.
Yeah, perfect example. A fleet of delivery robots, and you start noticing delays. Some of your robots aren't making their deliveries on time.
Frustrating.
Very. So traditionally, you might have to go dig through logs, look at maps, try to figure out what's going on. But with RobOps Copilot, the AI can analyze all of that data for you. It looks for patterns, anomalies, and it can pinpoint the root cause of those delays.
Like what? Give me an example.
Sure. It could be something as simple as a poorly designed intersection. Maybe there's a crosswalk that's causing robots to get stuck, or there's construction in a certain area.
They keep having to reroute.
Exactly. Or maybe it's something with the robots themselves. Maybe one type of robot is having more problems than another.
Maybe their battery life is bad.
Yeah, it could be. The point is, RobOps Copilot can highlight these issues, and then you can take action. You can redesign that intersection. You can swap out those robots, whatever it takes to optimize your operations.
Optimize. That's the key word.
Right. Because at the end of the day, it's all about efficiency, getting those deliveries done on time and saving money.
All right, sold. Sign me up.
Well, hold on there. I do have to play devil's advocate for a second.
What's the catch?
No catch, really. It's just that, I'm picturing someone who is maybe not as tech savvy. They hear all this talk about data analysis and the AI, and they might feel a little intimidated.
Yeah, I'm sure some people are like, oh, that sounds complicated. I don't know anything about data science.
Right. But that's what's so cool about this RobOps Copilot. It's designed to be accessible to everyone. It leverages natural language processing. Basically, it means you can talk to the AI in plain English. You don't have to know any fancy coding or query languages.
So I can be like, hey, RobOps Copilot, why are my robots always getting lost in zone 3?
Exactly. And it will give you an answer. It'll break down the data and explain in simple terms what's going on.
So it's like having a robot expert on call 247.
Pretty much. And it's not just text-based either. There's this really neat feature called AI summary and visual analysis.
Now that sounds impressive.
It is. Imagine this. The AI is actually watching the video feeds from your robot.
Whoa, Big Brother is watching.
Well, not quite. But the AI is analyzing those feeds and looking for patterns. So instead of you having to sit there and watch hours of footage, the AI can flag potential problems.
Okay, that's helpful for sure. Like what kind of problems?
It could be anything. Like, let's say there's a pallet that's been misplaced in your warehouse. The AI might notice that robots are having to go around it, creating a bottleneck.
Yeah, it would alert you.
Yep, and then you can send someone to fix it right away.
So much faster than trying to spot that yourself in a mountain of video footage.
Right. It's like having an extra set of eyes, but these eyes are powered by AI.
Okay, I'm starting to see how powerful this tool can be. We've got AI analyzing data, finding those actionable insights, and presenting it all in a way that's easy to understand.
Exactly. But there's one more piece to this puzzle.
Don't leave me hanging. What is it?
Communication.
Ah, yes. Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say.
It's true, especially in RobOps, because it's not enough for just one person to have access to these insights.
Everyone needs to be on the same page.
Exactly. And that's where integration with platforms like Slack comes in. So with InOrbit RobOps Copilot, you can share those AI-powered insights with your entire team in real time.
So everyone's seeing the same data, the same alerts.
Right. And they can discuss those findings, collaborate on solutions, make decisions together. It just fosters this really data-driven culture.
And it breaks down silos, too.
Absolutely. Because everyone has access to the same information regardless of their role or location.
Okay, now this is starting to sound almost too good to be true. Like, surely this is only for big companies with huge budgets.
Nope. And that's another thing I really appreciate about InOrbit. They're making this technology accessible to everyone, even those who are using their free edition.
Really? That's incredible. So even if you're just starting out with robots, you can still benefit from these AI-powered insights.
Exactly. They believe in democratizing access to these tools.
I love that. It's all about empowering users of all levels to optimize their operations.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to wrap things up, I think the big takeaway here is that InOrbit RobOps Copilot is a game changer. It's making AI-powered insights accessible, actionable, and it's helping us unlock the true potential of our robot fleets.
Agreed. It's an exciting time to be in RobOps.
Absolutely. But here's a final thought for our listeners. As robots become more and more integrated into our lives, from factories to hospitals to our homes, how will AI tools like this shape the future of work and industry? It's a question worth pondering as we navigate this new era of human-robot collaboration. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Until next time.
We hope you enjoyed this InOrbit podcast. Visit us online at inorbit.ai to learn how we make robots work. And contact us anytime at team@inorbit.ai. This AI-generated podcast was created using Google's Notebook LM. Thanks for listening.